Welcome to the Leading with AI podcast. Today we're doing something a bit special. It's not just a deep dive. I think it's really the deep dive into a topic that's, well, it's got to be top of mind for any leader right now. We're talking about the executive AI imperative.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely crucial. And for this conversation, we're really digging into the core ideas, the frameworks from chapter 2 of the book, Intelligent Advantage. It makes a very, I think, powerful case for why AI, it's not just a tech thing anymore, not something tucked away in a department. It's really shifted. It's now squarely in the realm of strategic leadership.
Right. And that really sets up our mission here, doesn't it? We want to understand exactly why AI is just too important to potentially game-changing to just delegate it down the chain. We're aiming to explore how executives, right across the C-suite, the CEO, CFO, CHRO, anyone in a leadership spot, how they not only can, but really must lead this whole transformation. Right from the top, the book puts it bluntly, AI is too important to delegate. So we're asking why? Yeah. And importantly, how do you lead it? Because the conversation, it feels like it's really changed.
Oh, it absolutely has. The book argues pretty convincingly, I think, that this isn't like, just automating a few tasks or buying some new software. We're talking about fundamentally reimagining how the entire business works.
The whole thing.
Yeah, everything. How you innovate, how you engage with customers, how you actually compete, how you win. It's described as profound, a real turning point. Yeah. And that demands leadership attention, top-level action. The book, it doesn't pull any punches. It says companies that keep treating AI like it's, on the side. Yeah. Exactly, or just an IT project, something for later. Well, they risk becoming, and this is a direct quote, relics of a bygone era.
Wow.
Yeah. They're old strategies, the ones gathering dust. That's the risk. The world just moves on without them.
That's a pretty stark warning. But it feels right, doesn't it? You hear it everywhere. It's kind of like trying to navigate today's world with, an old paper map, while your competitors have got real-time GPS, satellite feeds, the works.
That's a great analogy, yeah.
And the urgency is real because, as the book points out, the companies that jump in early, they're not just tinkering anymore. They're showing real, tangible benefits. You can see it. And they're creating this widening gap between the AI-enabled companies, the ones building these intelligent capabilities, and, well, everyone else. This isn't some future thing to watch. It's happening now. It's affecting competition today.
Precisely. The advantage is being built right now with AI. And that advantage, it tends to compound, builds on itself.
Okay, so let's tackle that core question the book raises pretty early on. Given this huge shift, this growing gap, why can't the C-suite, the leaders at the very top, just delegate this whole AI revolution? Why not just say to the IT department, or maybe set up a fancy AI center of excellence and say, okay, you guys figure this out, report back when it's working.
Right. It seems logical, maybe, but the book's core argument, and it really resonates, is that this journey into what it calls the age of intelligent advantage, it's deliberate, it's conscious, it's not something you just drift into. Yeah. And because it's deliberate, it demands a fundamental shift in how leaders think, in where accountability lies right at the top, and in the actions they take. Now, yes, the technical stuff behind AI, the algorithms, the data, the infrastructure, that is complex. You need specialists.
Sure.
But the book frames the strategic part, the successful integration into the business. That's actually surprisingly simple in one requirement. It must be led from the top. There's just no other way if you want to lead in this new era. That's the core message.
So the book's drawing a really clear line here. AI isn't like, say, rolling out a new email system or even a big ERP implementation. Those were huge projects, yes, but often managed within IT, with business input, of course. This is different.
Exactly. That's the contrast the book makes. It's not just another tech upgrade or a project for one department. It really hammers home that for AI to deliver on its promise, to go beyond just making things a bit more efficient and actually create strategic advantage, it has to be woven into the very DNA of the company.
Your DNA.
Yeah, of the strategy, the operations. It's not software you install in the business. It reshapes the business itself. It needs deep, pervasive integration.
And if leaders don't see it that way, if they treat it like, a bolt-on feature or something peripheral, that's where that big risk comes in, the relic risk.
That's exactly when the book issues its strongest warning. Treating AI like it's optional or secondary or can wait, that's how you risk becoming that relic of a bygone era. Those static strategies gathering dust. That's what happens when leadership doesn't recognize AI as core, as something demanding their direct ownership. And the competitive pressure makes that risk very real, very immediate.
Because those early adopters, are showing results, creating that gap.
Okay.
Makes a really strong case for why the C-suite can't just watch from the sidelines. They need to be driving.
Absolutely. The book frames it as fundamental, not just for growth, but maybe even for survival, for staying relevant.
Okay, the why is crystal clear. AI is a C-suite thing, not just an IT thing. So if leaders can't delegate, what are their core responsibilities? What does the book say they absolutely need to own and drive?
Yeah, so the book outlines several key areas, big ones, and they're all interconnected. These aren't things that just sort of happen by themselves. They need deliberate, practical focus from the leadership team. We're talking about building the right vision for AI, developing AI fluency among the leaders themselves, setting up robust governance, and really nurturing an AI-conscious culture across the whole company.
Okay, vision, fluency, governance, culture. Let's unpack those. Starting with vision and strategic alignment. What's the book's take there?
This is foundational. The book is really clear. AI readiness doesn't start with hiring data scientists or picking vendors. No, it starts by clearly linking any potential AI work to the company's main business strategy, its core objectives. AI, in this view, is a powerful enabler of those strategic goals. It's not the goal itself. You don't do AI for AI's sake. You do it to hit a business target, to solve a business problem.
Makes sense. So what does that actually look like for a leadership team trying to do this? What are the practical pieces according to the book?
Okay, the book breaks it down into a few key things. First, it demands a C-suite-driven AI vision. This isn't a departmental thing. It has to be crafted, owned, championed, and constantly communicated by the top leaders. It needs to be a clear, unified picture of how AI will create value, give the company an edge for the whole company.
Like painting the picture of the future.
Exactly, a picture everyone can see. Second, it means defining AI use cases with clear business impact. The book really stresses this. You prioritize AI projects based on how much they'll move the needle on key business outcomes.
Like revenue or costs?
Right. Revenue, costs, customer satisfaction, risk reduction, whatever matters most strategically. Initiatives have to be tied to measurable results. Focus on solving real business problems, not just exploring cool tech.
The value proposition has to be super clear in business language.
Absolutely. Third, the book pushes for an integrated AI strategy. Your AI plan shouldn't be some separate document gathering dust. No. It needs to be woven right into the main corporate strategy, into department plans, into how you budget and allocate resources. It becomes part of how you plan to win. And finally, absolutely critical, clear executive sponsorship and accountability. This means specific executives own the overall AI strategy and key initiatives, defined roles, who's driving adoption, who's measuring the impact against those business goals. Somebody at the top has to be accountable for making it happen.
Okay, so vision and strategy alignment, genuinely owned and driven from the top floor. Makes sense. The next one you mentioned was AI fluency. That term gets thrown around a lot. What does AI fluency really mean for leaders who, let's face it, probably aren't AI engineers?
Yeah, that's a really important point, and the book tackles it directly. AI fluency for leaders is absolutely not about becoming deep tech experts. You don't need to code algorithms or manage data pipelines.
Okay, good.
Instead, the book defines it as getting a sophisticated enough grasp of AI, enough to make informed strategic decisions, provide effective oversight, and crucially, foster a culture where AI can actually work and deliver value. The book talks about leaders moving beyond just knowing the buzzwords. They need to become knowledgeable and confident architects of the company's intelligent future. They need to understand the potential, the risks, the building blocks, even if they aren't the builders themselves.
I like that, confident architects. So what specific skills or understandings does the book say are key for that kind of fluency in a non-technical leader?
It highlights several core competencies. One is the ability for strategic framing of AI initiatives. This means leaders can look at a potential AI application and connect it directly to a strategic goal. They can articulate how it creates business value, boosting revenue, cutting costs, managing risk better, improving CX, maybe even enabling a whole new business model. And they need to prioritize based on that strategic impact and define clear, business-focused ways to measure success. A second competency, and maybe the most powerful one for non-tech leaders, is the ability to ask the right questions.
Oh.
The book really emphasizes this. It's a hallmark of fluency. It's not about having all the answers yourself, but knowing what insightful, probing questions to ask your teams.
Like what kind of questions?
Things like, okay, what specific business problem does this solve? How will we know if it's successful in business terms? Or what data do we need? Is it good enough? How are we handling privacy, bias? Or Roughly, how does this model work? Where might it fail? Can we explain its decisions if something goes wrong? What do we need in place before we implement this? How does it fit with our current systems? What's the plan for managing the change for our people? And really importantly, what are the ethical risks here? How do we ensure compliance? Where does a human need to be involved? Asking these questions drives rigor, surfaces risks early, and makes sure everyone's accountable.
That completely changes the game, doesn't it? Leaders don't need to be engineers. They need to be really good strategic interrogators of AI's potential and its pitfalls.
Precisely. It empowers them to lead without getting bogged down in the technical details. The book also mentions that fluency includes a basic conceptual grasp of basic ML types, model trade-offs, and limitations. Again, not deep tech, just understanding at a high level the difference between, say, supervised and unsupervised learning, or what NLP or computer vision or generative AI generally do.
Yeah.
It also means being aware of common trade-offs, like sometimes you have to choose between a model being super accurate versus being easy to understand, or getting every possible positive result versus avoiding false alarms,
I see.
and having a realistic view of AI's limits, knowing it doesn't truly understand things like humans do. That helps set expectations and avoid chasing hype.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about having enough literacy to engage properly, challenge assumptions, and make smart choices about where and how AI fits. Okay, third area, AI governance. This sounds crucial for making sure AI is used well and responsibly. How does the book frame effective AI governance for the C-suite?
Yeah, governance is huge. The book presents it not as like a simple checklist, but as a multifaceted capability. It's about putting the right structures and guardrails in place to manage both the potential and the risks of AI. And it starts absolutely fundamentally with recognizing that data governance is the foundation. AI models live or die by their data.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly. The book stresses that robust data governance, knowing your data quality, security, privacy rules like GDPR or CCPA, where it came from, who owns it, who can use it, how long you keep it. That's an absolute prerequisite. You can't do AI well without sorting out your data first.
So data isn't just a tech problem. It's a core governance issue for AI.
Absolutely. Your beta strategy and AI strategy are totally intertwined. Next up is model governance and model risk management, including something called model ops. This is about managing the whole life cycle of the AI models themselves, from the idea through development, validation, testing, deployment, and then crucially, ongoing monitoring and production.
Monitoring what?
To make sure they stay accurate, reliable, fair over time. Models can drift. Their performance can degrade as the real world changes. Model ops is like DevOps for software, but bringing that discipline to managing AI models, tracking performance, retraining them when needed.
Right, keeping the algorithms themselves in check.
Exactly. And then there's a dimension getting a lot of attention now, defining and applying ethical AI principles and practical guidelines. The book says leaders must lead this. Define, adopt, champion a clear set of ethical principles for how the company will use AI.
And this isn't just philosophy.
No, it has to be practical. Addressing fairness, avoiding bias, establishing accountability, who's responsible if AI messes up, ensuring transparency and explainability where you can, having human oversight, protecting privacy, and then translating those principles into actual guidelines, checklists that the teams building AI can use day to day.
So ethics becomes part of the process, not just a talking point.
It has to be embedded. Fourth is implementing comprehensive AI risk management. AI brings new kinds of risks that old frameworks might miss. Leaders need a process to spot, assess, monitor, and mitigate these AI-specific risks.
Like what?
Things like bias creeping into algorithms, models drifting, new security vulnerabilities like adversarial attacks, models being black boxes you can't explain, compliance failures, or even just reputational damage if an AI system acts weirdly or unfairly. The book says you need to integrate these AI risks into your main enterprise risk management system.
So AI risk is broad bias, compliance, reputation, security.
It really touches everything. Leadership needs that wide view. Fifth is actively navigating the evolving regulatory and legal landscape. Things are changing fast globally. Think of the EU AI Act. Leaders need to stay informed, understand the impact on their business, and ensure ongoing compliance. It's a moving target.
Requires constant attention, not just a legal sign-off.
Definitely. And finally, governance needs clear roles, responsibilities, and oversight structures. Who owns what? Maybe an AI ethics board, a chief AI ethics officer. What are the responsibilities for data scientists, business leaders, audit? And the book notes, board-level oversight of AI is becoming expected. It's critical.
Wow, okay, that's a really comprehensive view of governance.
Yeah.
Much broader than I might have initially thought. It's clearly strategic risk management.
It is, and the book positions it as essential, not just for managing risk, but for building trust and unlocking AI's long-term value.
Okay, we've hit the why AI is a C-suite must-do and the core responsibilities, vision, fluency, governance.
Yeah.
But that can still feel daunting. How does a leadership team actually do this? How do they build the vision, get fluent, set up that governance? The book offers practical steps, right? It doesn't just leave you hanging.
Right, and that's where Chapter 2 gets really helpful. It shifts from the why and what to the how. It outlines several concrete actions leaders can take. First, and probably most fundamental for bridging that fluency gap, is to invest systematically in C-suite and board AI education. This isn't just suggested, it's presented as a necessary investment. Structured learning programs designed specifically for non-technical executives and board members.
What kind of stuff should these programs cover, according to the book?
Key areas include high-level core AI concepts. What are the main types? What can they do? The strategic implications. How's it changing our industry? New business models. Relevant AI use cases and value drivers. Seeing real examples. Understanding ROI. Basic data fundamentals for AI. Hitting that data quality point again. Ethical AI and responsible innovation. Bias, fairness, accountability. And understanding the AI talent landscape. What skills do we need?
And how do you get busy executives to actually do this?
The book suggests tailored formats, dedicated executive AI academies, maybe cohort-based, focus board AI boot camps, the book mentions, Gartner research showing boards are increasingly expected to oversee this, curating good learning resources, reports, articles, specific online courses, bringing in expert briefings. The key is making it structured, relevant, and focused on building strategic confidence, not tech expertise. Another practical step. Establish executive peer learning circles or formal AI councils. Learning from peers facing the same issues can be really powerful. Peer circles create a safe space to share challenges, insights. An AI council with key leaders from business, tech, data can act as a steering group, ensuring alignment, setting priorities based on strategy, and championing AI literacy across the organization.
Like a community of practice at the top.
Exactly, building collective intelligence. The book also suggests trying reverse mentoring and cross-functional exposure. This is a neat idea. Senior execs getting mentored by younger, maybe more digitally native employees who have hands-on AI or data skills, or just spending time with the data science teams, visiting innovation hubs. It helps demystify the tech, builds empathy, provides practical context formal training might miss.
That's a great way to bridge gaps.
Yeah, it humanizes it. And speaking of gaps, another simple but effective step. Develop a must-know AI lexicon for leaders. Just a concise glossary of essential AI terms, but defined simply with a business focus, so everyone's speaking the same language. Algorithm, bias, API, cloud for AI, supervised, unsupervised, defined by what they mean for the business. And to really embed AI thinking early in planning, the book recommends organizations mandate AI impact assessments for major strategic initiatives.
What does that mean?
It means any big new proposal, new product, market entry, major operational change has to include a section analyzing. How could AI enhance this? What data do we need? What are the risks and how do we mitigate them? What capabilities do we need? It forces proactive AI consideration, not as an afterthought.
Makes AI part of the standard strategic checklist.
Precisely. Pushes it upstream. And to signal how important this is internally, the book suggests integrate AI fluency and AI-driven strategic thinking into leadership development and performance metrics. Again, not judging leaders on coding ability, but integrating competencies like understanding AI's strategic impact, asking good questions, championing valuable AI projects, showing commitment to learning, maybe even reflecting these in performance expectations. Finally, the book suggests leaders should visit AI-mature organizations and ecosystems. Go see what good looks like. Learn from companies further ahead. Understand their challenges. Study tours. Visits to AI hubs or leading firms can be incredibly insightful.
That's a really solid set of practical actions. It spells out how leaders can actually build this capability and culture, not just why they need it. It feels like a roadmap.
Yeah, it gives concrete ways for leadership teams to tackle the imperative head-on and get equipped to lead effectively.
Okay, we've covered why AI is so critical for the C-suite and looked at some really practical steps leaders can take to build their vision, their fluency, their governance. But this is just one chapter, one piece of a bigger picture, right?
Absolutely. And there's so much more detail and guidance in the book itself that we're drawing from.
Exactly. This deep dive, it's based on just Chapter 2 of Intelligent Advantage by Ryan Beckett. But the book itself covers the entire journey, the full framework for leveraging AI to get that sustainable competitive edge. It goes much deeper into data, tech, talent, culture, how it all fits together.
It really provides that comprehensive view.
So if you're finding these insights helpful, if you want that full framework for building an intelligent enterprise, understanding all the interconnected parts beyond just the executive piece, you really should check out the book. It's Intelligent Advantage by Ryan Beckett. It's packed with practical strategies, detailed frameworks, real examples like the one we're about to discuss. It's designed to help you and your organization navigate this age of intelligent advantage. Just search for the title Intelligent Advantage on Amazon. Now let's make this more concrete. The book includes a great case study, the story of Arthur Vance, the CEO of Global Logistics Corp, or GLC. It really shows what this C-suite ownership looks like in action.
Yeah, the Vance example is really illustrative. It shows a leader facing major disruption in logistics who realized AI wasn't just nice to have, it was critical for survival and growth. He saw the changing market, the competition, and he didn't just delegate the AI challenge, he took direct, decisive ownership from the CEO chair.
So what did he actually do? What actions did Vance take that the book highlights as showing this top-down leadership?
The book details several key moves that really bring the principles we've talked about to life. First, Vance was central in articulating a compelling vision. He worked with his team to craft something clear, ambitious, to become the most intelligent and adaptive logistics network. Delivering value through data and AI, he didn't just write it down, he championed it. Constantly. He linked AI directly to GLC's mission, customer service, resilience. He made sure employees understood the why and how AI would help them and the company win.
So he made the vision personal, relevant to everyone, not just a corporate memo.
Exactly. It became a shared goal. Second, he actively championed AI fluency at the top. Vance mandated tailored AI education for his whole C-suite and senior leaders. And critically, he participated himself, very visibly. Sent a huge signal.
Rock the talk.
Absolutely. He also set up an AI leadership council with execs and data science leaders to guide strategy, prioritize, and keep the learning going. The book notes this actually changed the conversation in meetings. Leaders got more comfortable asking about data, about AI opportunities. Third, and this is key, he established robust governance, including a focus on ethics right from the start. He knew AI and logistics had risks impacting people, assets, so he sponsored a formal AI governance framework early, set up an AI ethics committee with diverse members. They proactively developed principles for responsible AI use, data privacy, transparency where possible, ethical checks, especially for sensitive areas like workforce scheduling or pricing, built trust internally and externally.
Got ahead of the potential problems.
Yes, made it foundational. Fourth was strategic investment and prioritization aligned with business goals. Vance got board buy-in for significant multi-year investment in AI and the data infrastructure needed to support it. And the book stresses this investment was targeted, focused on core pillars, intelligent operations using AI for route optimization, predictive maintenance, smart warehouses, customer-centric solutions, AI tools for customers like accurate predictive ETAs, proactive alerts, and data infrastructure modernization, building a modern cloud data platform, breaking silos, getting the clean data needed to fuel everything.
Sounds like investments tied directly to fixing core problems and adding customer value, not just tech for tech's sake.
Exactly, targeted business impact. And finally, Vance put a lot of effort into fostering an AI-conscious culture. He celebrated early wins, even small ones, to build momentum, encouraged cross-functional teams to find problems AI could solve via internal AI innovation challenges, empowered AI champions within different business units, and made it clear that learning from experiments, even failures, was okay, was part of the process.
Wow, that's a really comprehensive approach. Strategy, capability, governance, investment, culture, all driven by the CEO. So what happened? What were the results at GLC after Vance took charge like this? What does the book say happened over the next few years?
The results described in the book over about 3 to 5 years were pretty dramatic. It really shows the payoff of that C-suite ownership. First, operational efficiency soared. Just the AI route optimization alone cut fuel costs by 15% across their huge network. On-time delivery improved by 20%. Predictive maintenance slashed unplanned truck downtime. Real, measurable impact.
Tangible bottom line improvements, better service.
Huge value. Second, customer satisfaction and retention improved dramatically. Those new AI tools for customers' accurate ETAs, proactive alerts led to much higher satisfaction scores, way less customer churn. They started winning back clients, attracting new ones because of these AI-powered capabilities and transparency. Third, beyond just doing things better, new revenue streams emerged. GLC started leveraging all the data their intelligence systems were generating. They could offer premium services to clients, sophisticated supply chain analytics, risk assessments, optimization consulting, things they couldn't do before.
So AI helped them become more of a data and insights company, not just moving boxes.
Exactly. It changed their offering. Internally, employee engagement increased. People saw AI helping them do their jobs, better planners, drivers, customer service, maintenance. They felt empowered. And focusing on strategic AI work boosted morale and retention for their tech and data teams too. And finally, there was a big shift in market perception. GLC wasn't seen as just another old-school logistics firm. They were viewed as innovators, technology leaders using AI for superior value. The book mentions their stock price and valuation reflected this newfound confidence.
That Vance example is really compelling. It makes it incredibly clear what happens when the CEO and the leadership team truly own the AI imperative. It literally transformed the company from potentially becoming a relic into an industry leader.
It's a fantastic illustration. It shows how the principles in Chapter 2, when really put into action from the top, can drive significant, tangible business results.
Okay, so that story hammers home the point. Leadership is foundational. But the book also connects this executive imperative to, well, everything else needed for AI readiness across the whole company. Let's broaden out now.
Yeah.
How does this top-down leadership connect to the bigger picture the book paints?
Absolutely. Chapter 2 sets that essential starting point, the leader's role. But AI success needs more. It needs a holistic approach touching data, technology, talent, culture. And the C-suite's leadership and oversight are crucial for all of these, even if they aren't managing the day-to-day technical work. For example, the book links leadership to digital maturity and platform thinking. It points out AI needs a good soil to grow in. Old legacy systems, data stuck in silos, no modern cloud or APIs. That really slows down AI progress. Digital maturity is like table stakes. Then it introduces platform thinking, moving away from building lots of separate one-off AI projects towards building reusable platforms, shared digital engines.
Shared infrastructure and capabilities that lots of AI tools can use.
Exactly. The book talks about the benefits, identifying common needs, building reusable components like feature stores or common NLP services, designing for scale, maybe enabling self-service for citizen data scientists in the business, using APIs, cloud-native design. This platform approach is how you scale AI value across the whole company, and that means strategic direction from the top. The book also hits hard on talent and culture being just as vital as the tech. You can't just buy AI readiness. You need the right people, the right environment. This means not just hiring specialized AI talent, data scientists, engineers, but also building AI fluency across the organization. Business leaders, domain experts, frontline staff using the tools. The book highlights the crucial role of AI translators or business liaisons people who can bridge that gap between the tech teams and the business needs.
Translators, okay.
Yeah, and fundamentally, you need a culture that uses data for decisions, embraces agility and experimentation, including learning from failures, and has strong change management to help people adapt. All of this supports and is enabled by the C-suite's leadership on fluency and fostering that AI-conscious organization.
So leadership sets the direction, but the talent and culture make it happen on the ground. The book also goes deep into how AI changes operations, right? Beyond just efficiency.
Yeah, it argues AI takes operational improvement way beyond traditional methods like Lean or Six Sigma. Those focus mostly on streamlining human processes. AI enables what the book calls intelligent autonomy, systems that can sense, analyze, decide, and act with more intelligence and automation, often in real time.
What are some of the big shifts AI brings to operations, according to the book?
Several fundamental ones. Moving from reactive to predictive and prescriptive. So instead of fixing broken machines, AI predicts failures before they happen and recommends what to do. Shifting from periodic to continuous optimization. AI systems can learn and tweak processes 24/7, making tiny adjustments humans can't. Moving from localized to system-wide excellence. AI can optimize across a whole supply chain, not just one part. Changing from fixed processes to adaptive learning systems. Think AI routing customer calls based on real-time conditions. And moving from human-limited to machine-powered scale. AI can handle data volumes and system complexity far beyond human capacity. It gives concrete examples too, predictive maintenance. AI analyzing sensor data predicts when equipment might fail, cutting downtime by 30–50%, costs by 10–40%. AI-powered quality inspection. Computer vision spots defects way faster and better than humans, slashing defect rates by up to 90%, reducing waste. It talks about smart robotics, autonomous systems doing more complex tasks, improving flexibility and safety. It also mentions moving from basic RPA to intelligent intelligent process automation, IPA, using AI for trickier tasks, which means needing to upskill people, and the critical link between AI, the Internet of Things, IoT, and edge AI processing data closer to the source for faster decisions.
It sounds like AI is really revolutionizing operations, enabling whole new levels of performance. How does this apply to something complex like the supply chain?
The book paints AI as transformative for supply chains, moving them from being reactive and fragmented to proactive, integrated, intelligent networks, which is crucial for resilience in today's world. The book cites benefits like better forecast accuracy, lower costs, optimized inventory, more agility. A key area is AI demand planning so much better.
It's the sheer amount and variety of data AI can analyze. Traditional methods couldn't handle it. The book lists all sorts: historical sales, promotions, product details, customer behavior, but also, crucially, tons of exogenous variables.
External factors. Exactly. Things like economic trends, competitor moves, weather, local events, social media sentiment, even real-time signals like port congestion or material shortages. AI can process all of that simultaneously. This leads to much more accurate, granular forecasts. The book outlines the huge benefits: fewer stockouts, less excess inventory, better production scheduling, more reliable financial planning, faster response to market shifts, even better new product launches using attribute-based forecasting.
The knock-on effects of better forecasting are massive.
Mm.
What about functions like finance or HR? How does AI impact them?
Profoundly, according to the book. It elevates their strategic role. In finance, it talks about the AI-augmented CFO, moving beyond just reporting history and controlling costs, to being a predictive strategist, a value architect understanding profit drivers, a savvy risk navigator, an insights provider for the business, a transformation champion, thinking about the future workforce, and a more strategic advisor to the board.
And AI enables this shift.
Yes, by providing the tools. Better forecasting and scenario modeling, simulating supply chain risks, market entries, long-range plans using things like digital twins. Value optimization AI, finding what really drives profit. Managing broader risks via AI-driven anomaly detection. Democratizing financial insights. Informing tech investments, especially in AI itself, driving the upskilling of the finance team, and giving the board a more data-backed, forward-looking view with scenario analysis. Similarly in HR, AI acts as a catalyst, moving HR from being mostly transactional to a real strategic partner. Yes, AI automates admin tasks, resumes screening, chatbots, onboarding, compliance, freeing up time.
So HR can focus on strategy.
Exactly. The book highlights strategic areas AI empowers. Strategic workforce planning, predicting future talent needs, enhancing talent management and leadership development, informing org design, helping cultivate culture by analyzing sentiment, and providing truly data-driven strategic counsel on people issues.
Does the book address the concern that AI might make HR less human?
It argues the opposite, actually. By handling the routine stuff, AI lets HR focus more on people. It enables personalized employee experiences, helps make fairer data-driven talent decisions by reducing human bias, empowers employees with tools like AI-powered career pathing or learning suggestions, improves communication, can even help monitor well-being by spotting burnout patterns in anonymized data. The book specifically calls out smart career pathing and leadership development AI suggesting paths, identifying high potentials earlier, personalized coaching, better succession planning, even AI-driven mentoring matches.
Okay, so in both finance and HR, AI enables a shift from reactive administration to proactive, data-driven strategic partnership. What about the customer? How's AI changing customer experience?
Fundamentally, moving from reactive, one-size-fits-all interactions to proactive, deeply personalized, dynamic engagement. It starts with AI's power for holistic data integration and synthesis, pulling together data from everywhere: CRM, ERP, website clicks, social media, IoT devices, third-party sources, to build that true 360-degree customer view.
Connected all the dots on the customer.
Precisely. Then AI works to uncover latent needs and intent. Analyzing feedback, browsing patterns, help tickets to figure out what customers really want or might do next, even if they haven't said it. This helps AI understand context and nuance, going beyond simple rules. All this feeds into dynamic and evolving customer profiles that update in real time. This deep real-time understanding enables real-time modeling and adaptation, true dynamic personalization of websites, recommendations, offers, contextual assistance, and proactive support AI stepping in to help before the customer gets frustrated, an adaptive journey orchestration, guiding customers through the best interaction path based on their real-time behavior. The book discusses specific applications like churn prediction using AI to identify customers likely to leave so you can intervene. Calculating customer lifetime value, CLV, to focus on high-value segments. Micro-moment marketing, hitting customers with relevant offers at just the right fleeting moment of intent. And dynamic pricing, optimizing prices based on real-time factors.
It sounds like AI is the key to finally delivering on the promise of true, scalable customer centricity. At an individual level, in real time, how does AI affect something like innovation? Isn't that more about human creativity?
The book argues AI transforms innovation too, moving it from a linear, sometimes slow pipeline to a more dynamic, ongoing capability, and helping overcome human biases. It talks about AI-augmented ideation and discovery. AI scanning vast external data patterns, research, news, social media, customer feedback to spot unmet needs, adjacent technologies, emerging trends much faster than humans can. It can even suggest novel combinations of ideas. Then there's generative design and intelligent R&D. AI is a co-creator, especially in design. You give it requirements, it generates design options. Topology optimization is one example. In R&D, AI analyzes massive research data, suggests drug candidates, simulates experiments, accelerating cycles. The book also points to new business models enabled by AI, like AI as a service, AIS companies, offering their AI capabilities as services. And digital twins, virtual replicas of physical things or processes, optimized and simulated using AI across manufacturing, cities, healthcare. It also explores AI as a catalyst for ecosystem innovation, AI enabling deeper integration between partners. Think shared supply chain visibility, collaborative design using digital twins, personalized CX across partner touchpoints, shared data platforms. AI becomes the connective tissue. And importantly, the book stresses embedding ethical oversight and governance into innovation from the start, impact assessments, review boards, accountability, monitoring.
So AI impacts the engines of creation and partnership too. It really does touch every single part of the business. The book also introduces this idea of algorithmic advantage. What's that about?
Right. Algorithmic advantage is presented as a new, powerful source of competitive edge in the AI era. It's about a company's superior ability to use its own proprietary algorithms, fueled by unique data, to consistently outperform competitors through better predictions, smarter automation, deeper personalization, faster adaptation.
And there's a virtuous cycle that builds this advantage.
Yes, a powerful feedback loop. Starts with data as fuel getting high-quality, unique data. This feeds algorithmic refinement, constantly improving your AI models. Better models lead to an improved user experience, which drives increased user engagement, acquisition, loyalty, which generates more unique data, starting the cycle again. This can create strong network effects, especially for platforms, making it hard for others to catch up. The book discusses the strategic implications. IP changes value is in dynamic models and data now. Focus shifts from static assets to dynamic learning capabilities. It can lead to winner-takes-most markets. Requires new ways to measure competition, looking at data assets, model performance, learning speed. It also highlights challenges, defending your unique data, managing the complex data labeling needed for training, and the risks of adversarial learning, others trying to fool or steal your models.
That's a whole new way to think about competition based on intelligent capabilities. Lastly, the book looks ahead at future trends and the regulatory landscape. What do leaders need to keep an eye on there?
Yeah, briefly, it touches on trends executives need awareness of. The rise of foundation models, multimodal AI integrating different data types, AIoT AI plus the Internet of Things, and longer term, quantum AI's potential. It also revisits regulatory futures and ethical shifts. Regulation is coming, evolving. Leaders need to engage strategically, balance innovation and risk. Practical steps mentioned include active engagement in policy discussions, building robust, agile internal governance, maybe an AI audit function, championing a culture of responsible AI, investing in holistic AI fluency, tech plus ethics plus regulation, using strategic scenario planning to anticipate futures, and focusing on building trust capital with everyone. It also mentions developing executive foresight, not predicting the future, but understanding plausible futures and building resilience. AI can help here too, with tools for horizon scanning, spotting weak signals, scenario planning, and weak signal analysis.
It's incredibly comprehensive, starting with that absolute executive imperative and connecting it to every aspect of building an intelligent enterprise: data, tech, ops, finance, HR, CX, innovation, future trends, competition.
It really shows how leading with AI means orchestrating this huge interconnected transformation, requires leadership across the board.
Which brings us right back to where we started. The C-suite can't delegate this, that AI fluency we talked about. The book makes it clear that's the absolute key to closing the gap between knowing you need to do this and actually making it happen.
That's the thread that runs through everything. Chapter 2, the whole book. Embedding AI successfully requires C-suite AI fluency. Research confirms high-performing AI organizations have leaders who've invested in this understanding. It's about being those knowledgeable architects, guiding the process, not just signing off on things. The book even reinforces this by mentioning the AI translator role, someone specifically tasked with bridging that communication gap between tech and business. It's a support mechanism, but doesn't replace the need for leaders themselves to be fluent.
So leaders need that literacy to navigate, ask the right questions, drive the strategy effectively.
Exactly. A fluent C-suite can understand the implications, make informed choices, champion responsible use, manage risks, and build that intelligent enterprise capable of winning in the future. The book basically says learnability and adaptability are the new core competitive assets for leaders themselves.
That's a powerful thought to end on. We've really dived deep today into why AI is this top-down executive imperative. We've explored the need for vision, governance, that crucial AI fluency, the practical steps leaders can take, and how all this connects to transforming operations, finance, HR, customer experience, innovation, and even understanding the future competitive landscape.
And thinking about that accelerating pace of change the book describes, that widening gap, maybe here's a final question for you, our listener, to mull over. How will you prioritize building AI fluency within your own leadership team? Not just for today, but for that dynamic future. What's the single most important question you need to ask your team about AI this week to really kickstart that strategic conversation from the top?
And again, if you want to go deeper, get the full framework, all the strategies and steps for harnessing AI across your organization. The source for this deep dive is the book Intelligent Advantage by Ryan Beckett. Just search for Intelligent Advantage on Amazon. It's a really valuable guide for any leader navigating this era.
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive.
Thanks for tuning in to the Leading with AI podcast.